You mentioned citizen journalists just a few moments ago, and there was a case about whether or not a citizen journalist, a blogger by the name of Cameron Slater, was entitled to invoke journalistic privilege in respect of materials that he had gathered for an article or for articles about a character who was suing him in defamation. And the case came before Justice Rayner Asher, who was a contemporary of mine from law school. And Justice Asher held that Slater, in fact, even although he was a blogger, fulfilled the criteria for being a journalist. Now, it was another matter as to whether or not he could invoke journalist privilege, and that was the separate issue. But he was held to be a journalist. And I mean, on that basis, just putting the word accredited in front means nothing, because there is no clear definition apart from that Criminal Procedure Act one.
And I'd add to that, I don't want to be accredited.
No.
I don't want to. I've never been accredited anywhere in the UK, and I would resist very strongly being accredited because I just feel it impacts upon my independence.
Absolutely.
We're not that sort of profession. The job of journalist is have notebook, will travel.
Yep.
I tried to find where this accredited journalist, the genesis of it in this New Zealand context. And I went back to 2021 to a stand-up in Northland done by Jacinda Ardern. That's the earliest that I could find, where somebody in the press pack asked a question of her that she simply did not want to answer. It was a citizen journalist, and she said, I'm only going to answer questions from accredited journalists. Thank you. So then, David, is this a form of linguistic gymnastics that has gone on now for a great number of years, that has been adopted by the courts and then codified into something that looks and masquerades as legitimate and legal?
The only incorporation of the requirements for a journalist in terms of what you could call accreditation, but that word isn't used, is in the Criminal Procedure Act. That's the only place. Now, as I've said, that's been imported into other sort of circumstances, so that the requirement of being employed by an organisation that's subject to the BSA or to the Media Council in some kind of disciplinary process or code of ethics, those are the requirements. But just to sort of blindly or blithely say you're not an accredited journalist is absolute rubbish.